Okay, so may bagong document ang Vatican entitled Fiducia Supplicans, dealing with the blessing of same-sex couples. And dito pa lang makita nyo na how controversial this document is. Yan ang pag-uusapan natin in this week's The J. Aruga Show. Kumusta? Kumusta? Welcome to the J. Aruga Show, protecting the Filipino family from woke ideology. We're the first conservative podcast in the Philippines. So, meron tayong biglaang episode in the middle of this week. Hindi ko pinlano ito. And I was planning na yung Anthony James Perez episode was the last episode before the Christmas break. And wala na talaga akong balak mag-release pa ng any episode for this year after that. And by the way, paki-check out yung episode na yon with AJ Perez kung hindi nyo pa na-check out. Napakagaling ni AJ. And thank you, AJ, for accepting my invite. Now, bakit may biglaang episode in the middle of this week? And pagpasensyahan nyo na guys, medyo pause ako, kararating ko lang galing date with Mrs. And medyo late na, but I want to release this episode midnight tomorrow, later, bale. So 10 p.m. na ngayon as I record this episode, and wala akong prepare na outline, wala akong prepare na script as I usually do. Kaya pagpasensyahan nyo na ako kung medyo ang flow nitong episode na ito ay hindi at par sa mga past episodes natin. But kailangan nating i-record tong episode na ito. And bakit natin kailangan i-record? Tungkol saan ba itong episode na ito? It's about that document from the Vatican, recent lang, which talks about blessing same-sex couples or couples in irregular circumstances. So when pag sinabing irregular, I assume na siguro sila yung remarried, nag-divorce ka na, remarried ka, or others. Hindi naman siguro i-bless ng Vatican na yung irregular couple na bestiality couple na may tao tsaka may hayop. Sobra na yon. But ang isang napansin ko, guys, kaya ko i-record tong episode na ito is I think our country is hungry for a niche content creator or a niche content or channel that deals with explaining the quote-unquote confusion around Pope Francis or a Vatican document. Sa US, konti lang ang gumagawa nito. Si Michael Lofton lang yung pinakasikat. Dito sa Pilipinas, mas konti pa lalo. And baka wala pa nga. But guys, wag niyo akong asahan na gagawin ko ito parati. Ano lang to, one time lang to. But mukhang kailangan sa Pilipinas na may mag-stand up to do this niche content. So kung nakikinig ka at tingin mo ikaw yon, well, go ahead. Ikaw na ang baka ikaw ang tinatawag ng Espiritu Santo para gawin ang content na ito. And bakit? Sorry. See, napaka-raw. Umuubo pa ako. At pumipiyok pa ako. So, bakit kailangan ng ganitong content? I myself I'll admit na nagbago ang pananaw ko kay Pope Francis. I used to be a basher of Pope Francis. And kung mapapanood nyo ang mga lumang Unboxing Catholicism episode, Burns is a supporter talaga ni Pope Francis. And whenever he praises the Pope sa Unboxing Catholicism Live, hindi ko alam kung napansin nyo na medyo uneasy ako. And sa loob-loob ko, baka napapakringe pa ako dun sa kay Burns. Parang, sino ba itong tao na to? Hindi ko kaibigan to. Or siguro straight-faced lang ako. Ayoko lang mag-comment. Ganun ako. Ganun ako ka-critic ni Pope Francis. But recently, medyo bago ang pananaw ko sa Santo Papa. Because I realized na marami sa mga criticisms kay Pope Francis and seemingly confusions kuno sa mga sinasabi ng Vatican hindi naman Vatican ang nag-create. They're confusions na ang mga news media, both the liberal news media and the far-right news media, sila yung nag-create. At kung meron mang pinag-aagrihan ang left and right, ang left, kiniklaim nila na, sa atin tong Santo Papa na to, this is our Pope, this is the liberal Pope. Halimbawa si Father James Martin, parang kiniklaim niya na, sa atin to, ito yung Pope natin. Tapos lahat ng document na ilabas ni Pope Francis, feeling niya tungkol sa support sa LGBT. Ngayon, yung right-wing media naman, ang framing nila at ang narrative nila sa Pope is, itong Pope na to is very left-wing, very liberal. So ito yung something na pinag-aagrihan ng dalawang panig na to, ng left and right. At yun yung napansin ko. Pero ang napansin ko is, may mga balita about the Pope or sa document about the Pope na exaggerated. Kung babasahin mo yung actual na document, yung ine-emphasize ng both left and right, ay hindi ito yung pinaka-heart ng document. They sometimes take the worst takeaway from the document, then they run with it and disseminate it. Instead of parang clarifying yung document. And I think as Catholics, we should clarify the misconception about these kinds of documents na rini-release ng Vatican para hindi ma-lost ang mga sheep, mag-go astray ang mga kapwa nating Catholics or even Protestants. And recently, nakakita ako ng mga post ni Taylor Marshall. Tapos yung comments dun is parang, wow, buti na lang sinabi mo to. Magko-convert sana ako sa Catholicism eh. Hindi na lang magko-convert. Or may ilang mga comments dun na parang nag-fall away sila from the Catholic faith. And di ba parang ito yung discuss natin last time nung pinag-usapan natin yung sin of scandal. So dito sa document na to, I think nais kong pag-usapan natin yung mga common na critique sa document na to. And tingin ko babasahin din natin yung mga ilang parts ng document. And some of you guys, baka may ilang mga followers ng podcast might find this appalling, yung pag-defend ko sa Vatican, sa Pope, sa magisterium ni Pope Francis. Mamaya mag-unfollow na kayo sa akin. I understand kung gawin yon. Mag-unsubscribe kayo. Okay, fine. But I just want to tell the truth. And that's sad kasi minsan binibigay mo yung may bibigay mo sa conservative cause, you risk it all sa pag-i-email sa mga Catholic schools na nagtuturo ng gender ideology, pag-i-email sa DepEd. I think I even emailed McDonald's, Supreme Court, opposing yung pag-support nila sa Pride Month. And the moment you defend the Pope, parang biglang lumalabas na ikaw ang most liberal person sa isang GC or even in a room full of conservatives. Parang nakakalungkot. And guys, I'm still with you opposing same-sex marriage, gender ideology. In fact, I have a very close family member because of my conservative stance. She hates me. And she's in a same-sex couple relationship. So, di ko alam kung kailangan ko pa ng qualifier bago ko gawin tong episode na ito. Anyway, nabasa ko ang tungkol sa bagong document ng Vatican this morning. And once I learned na may bagong document ang Vatican, ang una kong ginawa ay offline muna ako sa mga GCs, hindi ko muna binasa yung mga comments ng mga kaibigan ko. Hindi muna ako nakinig ng any commentary. Tinapos ko muna yung buong document myself. And I suggest you do that whenever nagre-release ng document yung Vatican. Basahin mo muna ng buo, tapos mag-come up ka muna ng sarili mong conclusion or kung ano yung understanding mo sa document bago ka magbasa or makinig ng commentary ng mga news sites or yung mga Catholic content creators or yung mga kaibigan mo. Di ba ginagawa naman natin yun sa pag nanonood tayo ng mga movies? Parang ayaw natin ma-spoil ang sarili natin. Bakit hindi natin to ginagawa sa mga Vatican documents? Upon first reading, ang unang pumukaw sa paningin ko is yung paragraph 39. Sabi dito, in any case, precisely to avoid any form of confusion or scandal, when the prayer of blessing is requested by a couple in an irregular situation, even though it is expressed outside the rites prescribed by the liturgical books, this blessing should never be imparted in concurrence with the ceremonies of a civil union, and not even in connection with them, nor can it be performed with any clothing, gestures, or words that are proper to a wedding. The same applies when the blessing is requested by a same-sex couple. So, hindi mo talaga pwedeng i-trick ang isang pare into blessing you, tapos nakabarong kayong dalawa. Tapos, Father, hindi naman po blessing ng same-sex union ito. Tapos, biglang nakapang wedding dress kayong same-sex couple. So, yun yung unang pumukaw sa isip ko. Parang there's a big no sa pag-bless ng same-sex union. Ang isa pang pumukaw sa paningin ko is yung paragraph 37. Sabi dito, canon law should not and cannot cover everything, nor should the episcopal conferences claiming to do so with the various documents and protocols, since the life of the church flows through many channels besides the normative ones. So itong pagbanggit sa episcopal conferences, I see this as a jab sa German synodal way. So biglang na pumukaw kagad sa paningin ko to. Parang wow, grabe, may jab sa mga Germans. So ano ngayon ang problema sa dokumento na ito? May mga nabasa akong criticism na ambiguous pa rin daw ang document. I beg to differ. parang you can't get any clearer than this document. Wala nang any ambiguity. Parang kapag babasahin mo yung document, parang sinabi niya, by the way, you cannot bless same-sex union. Also, malagang point, you cannot bless same-sex union. And isa pa, you really cannot bless same-sex union. And by the way, did I mention na you can't bless same-sex union? So yun yung isa sa, kung may TLDR itong document na ito, yun sana yung takeaway ng marami. Also, ang isa pang criticism is sabi nila, kung mabibigyan daw natin ng summary, ang document na ito ay ito yon. The Pope finally allows blessings for same-sex couples. At hindi na daw natin masisisi ang mainstream media for having this headline dahil totoo daw itong headline na ito ng mainstream media. Well, I think may mga konting fault pa rin ang mainstream media. I'll read some headlines later. Pero I think ito yung nangyari. Halimbawa, tatay ka, tapos tinanong ka ng anak mo, Tay, pwede po ba akong manood ng TV? Tapos ikaw bilang ama, sabi mo, pwede kung tatapusin mo muna ang mga homeworks mo at huhugasan mo muna ang mga pinggan na marumi at papakainin mo muna ang mga aso at maliligo ka muna. Tapos ikaw, bilang anak, sabi mo sa ate at kuya mo, guys, sabi ni tatay, pwede daw tayo manood ng TV. So parang ganun ang ginawa ng mainstream media. Binalita nila, linagay nila sa headline na the Pope finally allows same-sex blessings. Pero yung malaking chunk ng context leading to the possibility of blessing same-sex couples ay parang wala sa headline. And I would like to commend the Daily Wire dahil sila yung may pinaka-fair na headline. And historically, minsan ang Daily Wire is a critic of Pope Francis. Pero this time, fair yung headline la. Ito yung nasasad sa headline ng Daily Wire. Pope says, blessings for individuals in same-sex relationships cannot resemble marriage. Tapos dun sa loob ng article, sinabi dito na the church position on the issue remains unchanged. So, yun, medyo, I think fair tong headline ng Daily Wire. Ngayon, ito yung mga ibang headlines ng mainstream media. Una, gusto kong i-criticize ang Vatican News mismo kasi ang kanilang headline is this: Doctrinal Declaration opens possibility of blessing couples in irregular situations. Siguro not bad naman yung Vatican News headline, pero I can see how the mainstream media could take this headline and twist this to their own liking. At naiintindihan ko naman na ang Vatican News sometimes hindi naman ito infallible. Wala naman silang infallibility gaya ng Pope and the Magisterium. I don't think na guided by the Holy Spirit ang Vatican News, kaya siguro they may commit these kinds of errors. Pero ito yung mga headlines ng mainstream media. Sabi sa The Hill, priest can bless same-sex unions, Pope says. So very misleading ito. Sabi sa National Catholic Register, so ito, Catholic news site ito, in major doctrinal shift, Vatican officially okays Catholic blessings for gay couples. So, medyo misleading to, National Catholic Register, kasi hindi naman siya major doctrinal shift. Wala namang nagbago sa turo ng simbahan dito. Next is, ito, USCCB. Doctrinal Dicastery explains how when gay couples can be blessed. Ang criticism ko dito sa United States Conference of Catholic Bishops na website is and ito din sa sa NCR, National Catholic Register. Parang bakit nila ginagamit yung word na gay? Ang Vatican, umiiwas sila gumamit sa mga labels na gay, lesbian. They use the terms same-sex couples. Pero itong USCCB tsaka NCR, gumagamit sila ng mga terms na gay. And this reduces the person to their sexuality. So yun yung isa sa medyo napakringe ako sa balita nila. Isa pa mula sa Reuters, sabi dito, Vatican approves blessings for same-sex couples in landmark ruling. So there's nothing landmark dito sa document na ito ni Pope Francis. At marami pang ganyan. Ang emphasis is on the same-sex couple blessing. Hindi yung, oh guys, this is very clear. Hindi na pwedeng i-bless ang same-sex union ayon sa Catholic Church. So maraming ganito. Ang isa pang criticism na nabasa ko is, tinatanong nila, bakit pa kailangan mag-release ng Vatican ng ganitong document? I think I'm old enough to remember na nung July lang is nagkaroon ng dubya ang 5 cardinals about the blessing of same-sex couples at sinagot ni Pope Francis yung dubya, and then the Pope was highly criticized nung lumabas yung second dubya after nung July, and yung dubya nito is malapit ng magkaroon ng synod on synodality. Tapos hindi sinagot ni Pope Francis yung second dubya. And sabi na itong second dubya na ito is just a yes-no question yung hiningi nila kay Pope. And highly criticized nila si Pope Francis na, ba't hindi mo sinasagot tong second dubya na may yes-no question? I think I remember that, na highly criticized yung Pope na hindi niya sinagot ang second dubya. Tapos ngayon nag-release ang DDF ng isang buong dokumento addressing in detail ang tanong dun sa dubya. Tapos tinatanong ng mga critics ni Pope na, bakit kailangan mag-release ng dokumento nito? Parang kung ako matutuwa ako because it's more than the yes-no question na hinihingi nila. Parang sinagot ni Pope ang tanong with the whole document. Kaya medyo minsan di ko maintindihan yung ilang criticism sa Santo Papa. Okay, so with that said, ano ba ang nilalaman nitong dokumento na to? The first part of the document ay in-express dito kung ano ang meaning ng marriage. Sa paragraph 4, it's an exclusive, stable, and indissoluble union between a man and a woman, naturally open to the generation of children. Groundbreaking, di ba? Imagine mo kung isang woke liberal ang makakabasa nito, baka magkaroon siya ng mental breakdown. Hindi siya maka-go past this first few paragraphs. Baka hindi pa siya makarating dun sa paragraph saying na, pwedeng i-bless under certain circumstances ang same-sex couples. Baka dito pa lang mag-quit na siya magbasa, ma-offend na siya. Guys, this is the stuff of cancel culture. Ito yung mga naka-cancel na mga statements. Kung maalala mo si Candice Cameron Bure na cancel siya for saying the traditional marriage, the truth about traditional marriage. So at this point pa lang, kung babasahin ng isang liberal na tao ang document ng DDF, baka nagkaroon na siya ng mental breakdown at kinancel na ang buong Vatican. Okay. After the introduction, the description of marriage, may isang mahabang part ang document describing the different forms of blessing. And may mga scriptural passages pa ito. And di ba ito yung mga gusto natin as Catholics, yung mga scriptural references sa document. At ang dami nito dito sa document na ito. And in fact, kung meron man akong criticism dito sa document na linabas ng Vatican is, una, ang ganda ng discussion niya on blessings, on the different blessings. Napakaganda. At ang criticism ko is, it's such a waste na nakafocus lang ito sa pagbe-bless ng tao at pagbibigay ng grace sa tao na may inclination to same-sex attraction. Parang masyadong malaking waste of document. Parang teka, kami din namang mga ibang sinners, kailangan din namin ng grace para tulungan kami sa pamamagitan ng pagbe-bless ng priest at pagbibigay sa amin ng sanctifying grace na makakatulong sa paglaban sa mga kasalanan na ito. So yun yung criticism ko dito sa document na ito. At napakaganda ang discussion ng document on the different kinds of blessings. And now, the controversial part. Hindi ko alam kung madidiscuss ko pa yung controversial part in detail. Ito lang gagawin ko. Kasi sa Facebook, nag-post ako, hinighlight ko yung mga sentence, yung mga lines dito sa document na guardrails. Ito yung mga kailangan mo munang malampasan. Ito yung mga kondisyon bago ka makarating dun sa punto na may same-sex couple or one or more na ibe-bless siya ng pari. Okay? So, napakadaming conditions. Para itong yung example ko kanina, parang bago ka makapanood ng TV, kailangan tapusin mo na yung homework mo, pakainin mo yung aso, etc., etc. So, ito yung na-miss ng marami sa mga secular media bago nila binalita na the Pope allows same-sex blessings, finally. So, napakaraming guardrails. Ibig sabihin, Vatican doesn't take this lightly. Okay, so ito yung unang guardrail na nakita ko. So, sa paragraph 4, sabi dito, therefore, rites and prayers that could create confusion between what constitutes marriage, which is the exclusive, stable, and indissoluble union between a man and a woman, naturally open to the generation of children, and what contradicts it, are inadmissible. Okay, so clear yan na anything na resembling marriage, kung same-sex union yan, it's inadmissible. Sa paragraph 5, sabi dito, for this reason, when it comes to blessings, the church has the right and the duty to avoid any rite that might contradict this conviction or lead to confusion. So again, kung may same-sex couple na humingi ng blessing sa pari and could cause confusion sa ibang mga tao sa paligid, medyo pinapayuhan na iwas tayo dito. Number 6, sabi dito, this fact allows us to highlight the risk of confusing a blessing given to any other union with the rite that is proper to the sacrament of marriage. So again, another warning. Paragraph 9. From a strictly liturgical point of view, a blessing requires that what is blessed be conformed to God's will as expressed in the teachings of the church. So, kailangan yung binibless is it conforms to God's will. So, sa paragraph 10, sabi dito, therefore, those who invoke God's blessing through the church are invited to strengthen their dispositions through faith, for which all things are possible, and to trust in the love that urges the observance of God's commandments. So dito pa lang, medyo may condition na. Parang kailangan kung lalapit ka sa pare for a blessing, medyo may disposition ka na. Strengthen your disposition and you should trust in the love that urges the observance of God's commandments. Paragraph 11, sabi dito, for this reason, since the church has always considered only those sexual relations that are lived out within marriage to be morally licit, the church does not have the power to confer its liturgical blessing when that would somehow offer a form of moral legitimacy to a union that presumes to be a marriage or to an extramarital sexual practice. So dito baka sabihin nyo, Jay, itong sinasabi mo is yung liturgical blessing eh. Parang we agree naman na the church forbids liturgical blessing sa same-sex union. Well, at least kiniklear natin na bawal ang liturgical blessing. Kasi may mga ibang nagsasabi pa rin na, tignan mo yung Germany, parang they give liturgical blessings to same-sex unions. Bakit hindi ito rinirbuke ng Santo Papa? Well, this document clearly rebukes the German synodal way. Pero may isang form of blessing at ito yung medyo controversial na kinakakitahan ng iba na nag-allow ang Santo Papa sa blessings of same-sex couples. So ito yung tinatawag na spontaneous blessings. Pero even itong mga spontaneous blessings na ito is still conditional. And babasahin ko itong mga paragraphs about the spontaneous blessings. So ito yung mga blessings na pastoral, by the way, hindi siya yung liturgical blessings na may form. Pero ito yung blessings na nag-confer ng grace sa individual para ma-strengthen ang faith niya at mabigyan siya ng strength para labanan ng kasalanan. Dahil hindi man tayo talaga ang nakakatalo sa sin, di ba? Parang it's not through our own will. It's through God's will at sa kanyang tulong kaya natin na lalampasan ng mga pagsubok ng kasalanan. And ganito din sa mga kapatid natin na may same-sex attractions. Okay, so sasabi sa paragraph 20, to seek a blessing in the church is to acknowledge that the life of the church springs from the womb of God's mercy and helps us to move forward, to live better, and to respond to the Lord's will. So, meron talagang direksyon ang blessing na ito. Ang unang pumasok sa isip ko na example ng isang same-sex couple is si Milo Yiannopoulos. So si Milo, nung nag-convert siya sa Catholicism, is may kinakasama pa siyang quote-unquote husband. And nung nag-convert siya, sabi niya, he will start to strive to live as a brother dito sa kasama niyang sa kasama niya sa same-sex couple. And medyo complex kasi yung situation ni Milo Meron silang inadopt na bata. Pero syempre, kailangan pa rin nila ng grace of God to fight the attraction. And tingin ko eventually to move out from one another, di ba? Dahil kung magkasama sila, nandun yung temptation to sin. Okay, so sabi sa paragraph 21, people who come spontaneously to ask for a blessing show by this request their sincere openness to transcendence, the confidence by their hearts that they do not trust their own strength alone, their need for God, and their desire to break out of the narrow confines of this world, enclosed in its limitations. So sabi dito, by the time na lumapit ka sa priest, meron ka ng openness to transcendence, to fight the temptations. And kailangan mo talaga ng strength dahil you acknowledge na by your own strength alone, hindi mo kayang labanan ang confines of this world. Sabi sa paragraph 26, for the respuestas, invite discernment concerning the possibility of forms of blessing requested by one or more persons that do not convey an erroneous conception of marriage. So again, another guardrail. So ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na, by the way, hindi pinapayagan ang blessings of same-sex union or a union na mukhang magko-convey ng erroneous view of marriage. Sabi sa paragraph 30, while it is not appropriate for a diocese, a bishop's conference, or any other ecclesial structure to constantly and officially establish procedures or rituals for all kinds of matters, pastoral prudence and wisdom, avoiding all serious forms of scandal and confusion among the faithful, may suggest that the ordained minister join in the prayer of those persons who, although in a union that cannot be compared in any way to a marriage, desire to entrust themselves to the Lord and His mercy, to invoke His help, and to be guided to a greater understanding of His plan of love and of truth. Again, inulit ang avoiding all serious forms of scandal and confusion among the faithful. Number 31. Within the horizon outlined here appears the possibility of blessing for couples in irregular situations and for couples of the same sex, the form of which should not be fixed ritually by ecclesial authorities to avoid producing confusion with the blessing proper to the sacrament of marriage. So itong next lines ang medyo controversial. In such cases, a blessing may be imparted that not only has an ascending value, but also involves the invocation of a blessing that descends from God upon those who, recognizing themselves to be destitute and in need of help, do not claim the legitimization of their own status, but who beg that all that is true, good, and humanly valid in their lives and their relationships be enriched, healed, and elevated by the presence of the Holy Spirit. So ano yung controversial dito sa line na ito? So sabi nila yung tignan nyo, yung true, good, and humanly valid. Tignan nyo, medyo ina-affirm pa rin dito yung same-sex unions. Dahil sinasabi natin na yung same-sex couple, yung samahan nila, yung pagsasama nila is merong something good doon at may something true. Well, hindi. Kasi before that, sabi dito, recognizing themselves to be destitute and in need of His help. So bago ka lumapit sa pare, meron ka ng acknowledgement sa sarili mo na kailangan mo ng tulong. At kung titignan mo yung next line, sabi dito, and their relationships be enriched, healed, and elevated by the presence of the Holy Spirit. So yung part na healed, ibig sabihin may something disordered dun sa relationship nyo na kailangan put to the right order. Also, in the next paragraph, sa paragraph 32, sabi dito, indeed, the grace of God works in the lives of those who do not claim to be righteous, but who acknowledge themselves humbly as sinners, like everyone else. So medyo may acknowledgement na sinners sila. And kung woke ako, parang teka, ma-outrage ako dito. Bakit nyo sinasabing makasalanan ako? And the next line says, this grace can orient everything according to the mysterious and unpredictable designs of God. So kailangan ma-orient ka sa design ni God. May goal ang blessing na hinihingi mo sa pare, which is to orient you to the Lord's will, to God's design, at sobrang against nito sa woke ideology that you're okay the way you are. Paragraph 38, sabi dito, for this reason, one should neither provide for nor promote a ritual for the blessings of couples in an irregular situation. Another guardrail. Also in paragraph 38, in a brief prayer preceding this spontaneous blessing, the ordained minister could ask that the individuals have peace, health, a spirit of patience, dialogue, and mutual assistance, but also God's light and strength to be able to fulfill His will completely. Now again, kailangan ng accordance and fulfillment ng will ni God. Paragraph 39, in any case, precisely to avoid any form of confusion again or scandal again, when the prayer of blessing is requested by a couple in an irregular situation, even though it is expressed outside the rites prescribed by the liturgical books, this blessing should never be imparted in concurrence with the ceremonies of a civil union and not even in connection with them, nor can it be performed with any clothing, gestures, or words that are proper to a wedding. The same applies when the blessing is requested by a same-sex couple. So again, hinihiwalay ng document nito. Bawal lang i-trick yung pare na after ng kanilang same-sex union, biglang pupunta sila kagad sa pare at hihingi sila ng blessing. So, mahigpit na pinagbabawal yon. So, yun lang yung mga guardrails na hinighlight ko. So, pinost ko ito sa Facebook. Kung gusto nyo i-share nyo, or you can share this episode to help defend the faith. Because tayong mga Catholics, we're called to give a defense to the faith. And nakikita ko na tatawagin akong Pope's Plainer ng ilang mga kaibigan natin. And fair enough. yung Pope's Plainer ito yung bagong term sa mga taong nagdi-defend sa Santo Papa. Pero sa totoo lang, tayong mga Catholics, natawag na din naman tayong papist noon ng mga Protestants. And parang halos wala nga kinaiba yung term na papist sa Pope's Plainer. I'd like to end this episode with something that's providentially written. Nung nabasa ko ito sa paragraph 1 pa lang ng document at saktong-sakto ang message nito sa dadating na Kapaskuhan. Sabi dito, Pope Francis offers this timely reminder. The great blessing of God is Jesus Christ. He is the great gift of God, His own Son. He is a blessing for all humanity, a blessing that has saved us all. He is the eternal Word with whom the Father blessed us while we are still sinners. As St. Paul says in Romans 5 verse 8, He is the Word made flesh, offered for us on the cross. So lumalabas na Jesus Christ is the ultimate blessing from God. At sino tayo para ikaila ito sa ibang sinners gaya natin? Maging mga persons who has same-sex attractions. Okay, so yun lang ang gusto kong sabihin. Medyo inabot tayo ng more than 40 minutes dito sa episode na ito. But everyone, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This has been another episode of the J. Aruga Show. At the end of the day, it will be night. Goodbye.
If this episode made your day, or even if it didn't, please press that follow button right there. If you're listening in Apple Podcast, please give us a 5-star review. Spread the word, tell your friends, family, your dog to subscribe as well. Thank you very much.